Hello. Happy Monday. I know that I had originally talked about starting adding and subtracting mixed numbers, but today I decided that I wanted to give you guys a little bit of extra practice converting mixed numbers to fractions and fractions to mixed numbers. So there is an assignment through Splash Math on the Google Classroom for you. There's two assignments for you to do. But before you do those assignments, you should be watching this video because I wanted to show you some examples of what you might see. So if we recall, fractions show part of a whole, right? So if I have something that's cut into two equal parts and two of them are represented, it shows one whole, right? We talked about when the numerator and denominator match, it shows one whole. In mixed numbers, we have a whole number and a fraction. So if I have 2 and 2/3, for example, 2 and 2/3 shows a number that falls between the whole numbers of 2 and 3. And I know that because the 2 is attached to the 2 and 2/3, so it means that it's a little bit more than 2, but not quite 3 yet. And I know that it's the next whole number is 3 because if I count 1, 2, 3, 3 is what comes after 2 in the sequence. So this is what's called a mixed number. And what it shows a whole. So here we go. What it really is showing in this case is two wholes and 2/3 of another whole. So I'm going to cut each one of these into 3 equal parts, and I'm doing that because the denominator on my fraction over here is 3. And I'm going to cut this one into 3 equal parts as well. So this whole number 2 is represented by both of these being completely colored in, right? Each one of these equals 1 whole. 1 plus 1 equals the 2 here in this mixed number. Now the 2/3 portion of this one, I wouldn't be coloring in all 3 of these blocks. I would only be coloring in 2 because the numerator tells me that only 2 of them are accounted for. So 1, 2. So this diagram here shows 2 and 2/3 of another one. Okay? Let me show you another example. Let's say that you have the mixed number. Let's say you have, not a mixed number, I'm sorry. Let's say you have an improper fraction, 19/12, right? Well, when we have something like this, 19/12, we can't leave it as improper. We have to turn it back into a mixed number. And the way that we do that is by figuring out, right? We could either make a drawing, which takes a very long time. So I'm going to show you how to make a drawing. So here we go. I have this here that I'm going to cut into 12 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And I cut it into 12 equal parts because the denominator is 12. So now I'm going to shade them in until I get up to 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, well, I colored in all of them and I hit 12. So I know that when I have one of these things colored in completely, no matter how many equal parts there are, if the whole thing is shaded in, it represents one whole, which means that there's going to be at least one whole as part of the mixed number for this. But I need to keep drawing until I get up to 19 to find out if I stop at 1 or if the whole number would be 2 or 3 or so on. So I'm going to draw another diagram that looks just like this one, until I get up to 19. So far I'm at 12. Okay, here we go. Here's the next one. I'm cutting it in half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now it's cut into 12 equal parts, right? 6 on either side. So because I left off here at 12, I'm going to count starting with 13 to color in over here. So I have 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, so now I'm showing 19 parts when the diagrams are cut into 12 equal parts. 19 twelfths. So I can see from my diagram here that I have one whole plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 12 from this diagram. So this diagram shows one whole, and this one over here shows 7 twelfths. So when I put it all together, the mixed number that I end up with is 1 and 7 twelfths. Okay, so today your work is going to be revolving around finding fractions from mixed numbers and mixed numbers into fractions. If you have any questions, please let us know.